A couple of years ago, the Strathcona BIA started to work on two programs to help our members divert their commercial waste. These programs were the Zero Waste Challenge and the Urban Resource Park. We had been in the process of developing the plan for the Resource Park when Metro Vancouver approached us with the idea of partnering on a Zero Waste Challenge.
Strathcona community first came to Metro Vancouver a few years ago with this notion of doing community zero waste challenges where neighbours get together and figure out how to capture all those resources from their garbage. And that was a really successful initiative. So when we became aware that the Strathcona Business Improvement Association had a sustainability coordinator, we went, aha, we're going to ask them first and we're going to see if there's an opportunity to do the same thing with businesses, where we bring businesses together to let them figure out among themselves how do we reduce our waste, because they're really the experts.
We kicked off the Zero Waste Challenge in September with 16 businesses. We started out with a composition study where we collected all of their waste for 3 days, and then we had analysts sort through that waste and determine what the main components of it were. Then we collected organic waste, soft plastics, and mixed containers for a period of 9 weeks. The businesses received either daily, weekly, or bi-weekly pickups, and all of that waste was collected and brought to a parking lot in the downtown east side, where it was sorted and collected by one of our partners.
The reason why we decided to be part of the Zero Waste Challenge is because it's something that we were already doing, and it just only makes sense to continue it at work.
We're able to kind of see what we're wasting, be it at lunch, be it on materials for production, and really kind of taking a look and going, these are the materials that we're using, this is the material that we're gathering here. What other materials can we use to possibly stop that increase of, let's say, styrofoam coming into the office, and instead of using something like that, utilizing Tupperware that can be reused time and time again. I don't necessarily look at it as a sales tactic, even though it could be construed as one. It's part of our mandate, it's who we are. And once you come to that understanding that this is what you do and this is our daily process, then that's what it is. And that's what you've created.
The Strathcona BIA and our members benefited from the services that are offered in the Zero Waste Challenge, but we've also tried to benefit the members of the community by creating green jobs that involve picking up the waste and bringing it to the park and sorting them out.
Being in the downtown core, you always want to be able to see if this area can be brought up, and I think that's one real good way to bring up the area by starting with something small and then growing to something bigger.
Most companies nowadays have their corporate social responsibility charters. They have charters for the environment, and this is a great way to get involved and to really make a difference in our community.
This is part of the grand picture, is not just what companies can do and the individuals that are working for the companies, but also for the people in the community, creating awareness, creating basically a happier environment.
The problem with food is that when it goes in the dump, it rots without oxygen present, which means that it creates methane. And methane is a greenhouse gas that is 20 times more problematic than CO2. And if you look at the airshed here in Metro Vancouver, 2/3 of the methane produced is coming from the dump. The challenge is that we're really all in this together. So that means that businesses and residents and government have to work together to figure out ways to capture all the resources that we used to treat as garbage and get it out of the garbage stream.
While we ran the Zero Waste Challenge, we worked simultaneously with the City of Vancouver to develop a resource park, which is an urban hub of waste diversion, food production, and resource preservation. On the site, we'll be composting, collecting and redistributing recyclable and reusable materials, and running a small urban farm.
The city decided to sponsor the commercial recycling project because it was part of our revitalization initiative for the downtown east side. Strathcona made sense as a testing ground for this commercial waste program because it's got a lot of assets that were already there, that with the right spirit and the right energy behind them came together to make a project that can actually be replicable. What are those assets? People, partnerships, the will of very capable organizations like the Strathcona BIA to actually take the leadership role in making a project like this happen. Human resources that are ready and able and willing to do the work. And then also the political context around the Strathcona BIA and all of the previous work that Strathcona has done to establish itself as the green zone really made it the natural place to take such an innovative project and make it real.
Since we ran the Zero Waste Challenge, we've continued to collect organic waste and recyclables from our businesses. And we still bring it to the site, but once the resource park is up and running, we'll actually start composting those materials ourselves on site using a variety of in-vessel composters housed inside small sheds. In other sheds, we'll also be housing some of our recyclables and storing reusable items from our resource exchange program. And we've also created a separate area at the front of the site, which is a public space where people can come and sit at a picnic table and enjoy some of the trees and the plants that we've put there.
What we're creating is this full circle type situation and everyone benefiting from it. And the resource park is that central point that all these creations are going to come from, all these ideas are going to come from, and materials that people can walk away with and ideas that people can walk away with to utilize in their everyday life.
The importance of the resource park is several-fold. First, it's allowing us to help our businesses deal with the kinds of waste that they wouldn't normally deal with, and to deal with those wastes in a local way. So we're actually composting the waste on site and having that compost be redistributed in this community. So it's not traveling out of the area to be dealt with and it's not coming back into the area to be reused. We're also creating green jobs on the site. We need people to pick up the waste, we need people to deal with the waste on site, to help sell the food and sell the compost that's created. So there's all kinds of opportunities for developing the human capital as well.
I think that the aspects of this program that excite me the most are really the new partnerships that are being formed. It's through initiatives like this where you're creating unlikely partnerships. So partnerships between a business association and a nonprofit organization to create enterprise and employment. That's something that I wholeheartedly believe is the core secret to overcoming some of the social challenges that we're facing in this city more broadly. It's a project that is redefining what relationships matter in the way that we operate on an economic level and the way that we interact with one another. It doesn't always have to be just business. It can be business with supports. It can be transactions with love.
Knowing where we are in this community and knowing what can be done is exhilarating, right? Because we're here and we're creating something from absolutely nothing. And we're not creating a concrete jungle, we're creating a green jungle. And that's what this community needs.